I'm with John Braithwaite, director of the Sidmouth Folk Festival this year, and I'm very pleased to say he's come to join me now. John, thanks for talking to us. It's day one. It's, a little past 3 o'clock in the afternoon of day one.
It is, yeah.
How's it going so
we've
far?
Survived so far. We survived on day one mainly because of the beautiful weather, which is a bit of a break from what we've been having, and it's dried everything up, and it's just wonderful.
What are the crowds like? Are these good numbers so far?
Well, here we are. Last night there was a huge crowd. It was the opening, what we call a pre-festival, and it was Fishermen's Friends, who have made films and all that sort of thing, and people may well have heard of them. And there were 1,200 people in here, which is full. So a good way to start.
It's quite a large organisation, a festival like this, a lot of logistics. Probably, a couple of weekends' work?
Yeah, 2.5 weekends, yeah. And then the rest of the year before that. Yeah, we're working, we have our sort of wash up in October, and we've already started thinking before. Well, because you come across things during the festival and you think, well, you shouldn't do that again next year, or yeah, we should do that. So you're thinking really 15 months ahead normally.
So what did you do last year that you're not going to do this year?
That's a trick question, isn't it? I have no idea. Well, this marquee was a little bit bigger last year, and we took it back a bit because we only needed it for one show, and it's given us a lovely big space here that we didn't have as much of. We lost 5 meters of it. That's one thing. We've changed, actually there's a lot of things we're doing this year that we didn't do last year. Up at Bulverton, up on the hill up there, which is the very, very late night, rocky stuff, we've got a completely different setup up there. We've got a lovely traditional marquee with poles in the middle for people to try and dance around and all that sort of thing. So it's really, there's two main things, I think.
You get big acts at Sidmouth, and you always have done. It's a very old festival, 1955, but these days you get really big acts. What is it that makes those big names want to come and play here?
And they do, actually. They do, very much. Artistic director Tash tells me that
but why?
People really do. Well, it's the cachet, really. You know, when you have a festival like this, which is the oldest folk festival in the country, and possibly in Europe, I'm not 100% sure of that. It's certainly the biggest folk festival in the country. It does have a certain ring to it, and it has a certain... We've played Sidmouth, you know, so... and it's not just being on the beach building sandcastles, you know, it's playing in front of big audiences, but also people who do know their music.
And what is it about folk fans, folk people, folk festival goers, and more, mad about what they're coming to see than most fans of most genres?
Well,
what is it about the folk community that brings them all here?
I think the folk community, like many other communities, is quite tight-knit, but inside that there are so many groups of people who like this, don't like that, and don't forget, it goes right across the board. It's music, song, dance, storytelling. So there's a whole set of genres within the folk genre, which people have an opportunity to participate in and enjoy. I think it's because the folk genre does come from the people. It doesn't come from a set of writers in New York, you know. It comes from, mostly, historically, it comes from the traditional songs.
We'll talk again at the other end of the festival. How will you know it's been a success in 8 days' time?
Well, it's whether or not I'm doing this and I've got a loose change in my pocket, really. I was going to say I know it'll be a success. It always is. People always enjoy it, but there are a couple of definitions of success, and I won't know the second one, which is the pound, shillings and pence bit, until a little bit after, until we get to September, roughly, until we've cashed up and checked up and so on. But I know that I should be able to tell. We have feedback. We normally have around about between 400 and 600 bits of feedback, and you can tell straight away from just skimming through those the level of happiness or otherwise that people have. So,
John, I'll talk to you at the end of the festival. Don't work too hard. See you at the other end.
Thank you. I'll be there.
Thanks, John. That was John Braithwaite, director of the festival.